Hey Tumblr. This video is actually for one of my followers that goes by the name of Jane Franklin Ellis. Jane, I had actually intended to take a whole bunch of pictures with my phone and then just make a giant ass blog post. But then I figured, considering how much stuff I have, it might just be easier to explain it all in a video that I hope will not be that long. Please excuse my appearance. I'm at home and I'm in my sweatpants. So based upon what you told me, you like rockabilly, you have blue eyes, and you have olive skin. You did not tell me though whether or not you were cool or warm toned, and the way you tell that is whether or not you look good in silver or gold jewelry. If you look good in gold jewelry, you're warm. If you look good in silver, you're cool. Okay. Anyway, rockabilly. Rockabilly, as you probably realize, is within the 40s and 50s era where there were a lot of girls doing like the little cat eyeliner and rocking a very natural looking eye. For my natural looking eye, I always go to the Too Faced Chocolate Bar Palette. It's probably going to show up backwards because I'm just using my computer camera, so it sucks. I always go for the Too Faced Chocolate Bar Palette. They just came out with a second edition, but I have the original one. There is a variety of shimmer and matte shades, as well as very warmer colors and very cool colors. So I think it's a good neutral palette for every day, and it has little pops of color in case you want to go a little bolder. Anyway, rockabilly, definitely neutral matte, so you might want to use this white shade, which is called White Chocolate. And then you might want to put on the lid, I would put marzipan, and then in the crease as a transition use salted caramel, and then to darken up even further use milk chocolate and probably the semi-sweet, okay? This is sold at Sephora. I think I bought it for like $45, but you get a lot of color in it. And I use it very, very often because it's so neutral and I can use it with any look, be it day or night. And it actually smells like chocolate, which I love. So I would go for that. And then for winged eyeliner, most of the time you would probably use liquid, and you would probably want something to stay on all day, and you want something waterproof and sweat-proof and all around. I don't know if you have kids, maybe kid-proof. What I use for waterproof liquid liner is the Stila Stay All Day liquid eyeliner. This is just the basic black, which which every girl needs. My personal staples are the Stila liquid eyeliners and the Dior Addict It lines. But the It lines are not waterproof, so I'm assuming you want waterproof, so go with Stila, and it's also really, really black. For a pop of color, because you have blue eyes, I have always thought that blue eyes look marvelous with other shades of blue or actually shades of green. So, for a bold pop of color, you might want to try and find my camera doesn't pick it up well, but this is like a very bluish teal green color. This is a very bright blue, and then this is a navy. I obviously do not wear these colors every day, but I do save them for a night out, or if I just need an accent color. This is something my friend sells. She's local to our she's local to our Harrisburg area, but you can buy her stuff online. The pans, I think, alone are like $8, but you would need something to put them in. So you would need a palette. I don't know if Sephora still has this, but I do also love this because it is very versatile. You have your neutral shades, which can be used to kind of create that rockabilly look, but it has really bold colors like a silver, glittery blue, a gold, a really cool duochrome brown, and blue-green. Brown and blue-green kind of duochrome, which I personally really love. See, it shifts into the light. And then, of course, a glittery black. So you can make your daytime look with pops of color, and a full-blown smoky eye if you really wanted to. And smoky eyes really do look good on everyone. I don't know if Sephora still has it, but it's called the Pretty Rebel palette, but I'm pretty sure you could find maybe these similar colors in different other palettes that they have. The colors in here are called Dainty, Charming, Girly, Totally Fetch, Miss Sparkles, Ringleader, Gangsta, Instigator, Badass, and Jailbird. I think you could totally rock this palette, Jane. I think you could. I hope it's still sold somewhere, though. If it's not, then I'm really sorry. Then just ask the sales clerk for something similar. I know this color, which is called Girly in the palette, is pretty much the exact same color as MAC's Blue Brown Pigment. So, if you're feeling really bold, because you have blue eyes, another color that would obviously go very well with it is, well, it's orange. Okay? Not a lot of people can get away with orange. I actually, because I also have like medium to deepish skin, I actually like to use orange in the crease as a transition shade, and then put my other neutral and crease shades in there, and then to blend it all out. So Makeup Forever has some really cool oranges, like right here, and I think it's number, they don't name them actual names, they name them just numbers. I think this is number I-746 over here, and you will probably want to try also, what is it called? I think it's called Lottie, S742. So S as in snake, 742, I, and I as in indigo, 746. Obviously you're not wearing orange every day. Again, that's just you could do that as a transition shade in your crease. Or if you want to go bold with it, you could probably put it on the lid as an accent color when you're going out and doing fun stuff with your friends. This is the Makeup Forever 30-year anniversary palette. 30 colors by 30 different well-known makeup artists who work on celebrities, high fashion shows, things like that. But I don't know if this is sold anymore either because this was limited edition. But look for something similar to the I-746 and the S-742. That's what I recommend anyway. Let's see. For the rockabilly look, you want really pink cheeks. And I have two suggestions for those. You could go with the NARS Orgasm Blush, which is their hero blush. It's the most popular, and it actually looks good on everyone. I've actually used this, and it does look very nice, and it's very, very pigmented. I don't know if it picks it up. It won't pick it up. But it's very pigmented. It's like a very warm peach shade with a little bit of like like gold shimmer in it. So it kind of highlights the cheeks as well as making them look very naturally pink. And I'm fairly sure it's supposed to mimic the flush of the cheeks when you're orgasming. Another one I would suggest is called Nectar. This is the same brand that my friend created in Harrisburg. It's similar to the Orgasm, but I feel like there's a little less shimmer in it. So this is one by a brand called Carmina Christina in the name Nectar. But you just want to find a pretty bright peachy pink with, if you want a little bit of shimmer in it, go ahead, or it could be matte. But you kind of want a bright peachy pink. Let's see. If you want to go really bold and want to try something really cool, I would recommend this foiled eyeshadow called Jester. It's by Makeup Geek. It just came out a couple of weeks ago, and I absolutely love it because it is just this really bright and really vibrant, how do I explain it? It's just a really bright and really vibrant, like, metallic green. Like I said, I think blue-eyed girls look really cool in other shades of blue and other shades of green on their eyes. So, and then like when you move your hand in the light, it's like all duochrome-y. So I personally love that. There are actually 10 shades of the metallic foiled eyeshadows in Makeup Geek, which I actually have all of them. If you want to try the orange, you could do this one, which is called Flamethrower, which is a very bright orangey copper. For your everyday neutral, you're going to want to go with Magic Act, which is just a very pale white gold. Or for your eyes, you might also like In the Spotlight, which is this orangey peach color right down here in the bottom. So another cool one you might like is the Bright Metallic Blue, if you're feeling bold with anything. Makeup Geek, compared to all the other stuff I just showed you, is really affordable. These pans of foiled eyeshadows are $10 each, but you can get all 10 for $89.99. The palette I bought separately. Because pretty much this is like $50. This was like $36 for 3, but then to just buy the pans, it's $8, I think. This Makeup Forever one was $250. So, which is why I'm telling you only select colors. That way you can ask the clerks what's the most similar shade. This is a palette from MAC that I built myself. I bought all the eyeshadows separately and just stuffed them into this case. MAC eyeshadow pans, I think, are like $15 a pop, so this is not your most affordable alternative, but if you're going to build a palette for yourself, you want a good combination of neutrals, some reds for transition colors, browns to darken the outer corner and the crease, a black and like grayish so you can create your smoky eye, and then various pops of color. So I'll have to look at my receipts if you actually want to know all these names, I'll have to look at my receipts because I don't remember them all. But it's 15. It's 15 pans and about $15 per pan. And then plus another $15 for the palette. So, yeah. I spend a lot of money on makeup, can you tell? Alright. Going to highlighters. I really love highlighters. Highlighters are good for putting it on the cheekbone, and I mainly put it on the cheekbone because I have oily skin. But if you have dry or normal skin, which you didn't tell me either, you could actually put it here on the upper part of the bridge of the nose. Also, you could highlight the under eye to make your dark circles look less dark. You could also put a highlight in the middle of your forehead and in the middle of your chin. I'm oily everywhere, so like I said, I only keep mine on the tops of the cheekbones because I'm going to get oily in all those other places I just told you about. Anyway, my favorite highlighters, I don't know if it's still there, but I love Bobbi Brown Shimmer Bricks, and I own the one in Sandstone. It's very... Since you told me you have olive skin, and I'm wondering if you might be slightly similar to mine, because I have very olivey skin too. Since your skin might be similar to mine, it just adds a very nice luminous glow to the skin, but without being overly glittery. And that's what it looks like in the pan. I just swirled all the 5 colors together to make the swatch on the back of my hand. Another highlighter which I love, it would be the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector pressed in Opal. This is what the product looks like. So it's Opal. It's a very, how do I call it? It's like a very pale white gold. When you swatch it on the back of your hand, it's right there. It adds a more subtle highlight. This is the Bobbi Brown, which is very prominent, and this is the Becca Opal one, which is a little less prominent, but much more, it's not as glitter, I feel like it's much more pale than the Bobbi Brown one. This one adds like a very subtle and a little more natural highlight. I mean, it'll still look like a highlight, but it's not going to be as shimmery. So depending on what you like, I would suggest one of these two. Again, these are from Sephora, so they are a little hefty. Well, the Becca I got at Sephora. The Bobbi Brown Sandstone I got at Nordstrom's. So if they don't have this in stock, you might want to try Copper Diamond or Bronze Glow. So, because they're very, very pigmented and they're very well worth the price. I know Bobbi Brown shimmer bricks are about $45, and this I think I got for $40. I spend a lot of money on makeup, but I'm sure there are different cheaper alternatives you can find as long as you Google them. Google gives you, and Pinterest give you a lot of dupes. Anyway, Rockabilly lips are obviously the really beautiful matte red. Now, depending on your skin tone and whether or not you're warm skin tone, cool skin tone, or a neutral, there are different reds that you can get. I personally always buy cool toned colors, which are very blue based. Like, for example, sorry, my email's dinging. For example, MAC's, all right. The Too Faced Melted Liquid Lipstick is a very blue-based red, like right there. MAC's Ruby Woo is a little bit more warmer. So cool, warm, cool, warm. But this still does have a bit of blue in it because reds could, if it's a warm red, it's very like red orange. But this is obviously warmer than Too Faced Melted Berry. But this is part of their Retro Mattes collection, and this is kind of like a very 1950s rockabilly style red. So if you want a true lip red, a true 1950s rockabilly red, try that one. Another suggestion, because rockabilly's always had the red lips, and I don't know how easy this is to get. This is a sample I got, and I do own the full size, but I'm working on the sample right now. This is Bite Beauty, and this is a special color that came out for those who are VIB Rouge at Sephora. To become VIB Rouge at Sephora, you have to spend $1,000 in the calendar year. I obviously have done that. This is my sample, and I own the full size. But this is another very blue-based red, so you can see how cool, warm, and then this is kind of cool also. So that's another one. And then, of course, when you're doing red lips, you always want to line the lips, fill them in, and then put the red on top. That way it won't bleed, and then you want to clean up the edges with a Q-tip or some concealer. Another red, which I love. Also, I forgot to mention this, blue-based reds will also make your teeth look whiter. I love having white teeth. I don't know about you, but that's why I also buy blue-based reds. I want white teeth. Another red is from my friend's line, Carmina Christina, and Just Bitten. And Just Bitten is a very deep, it comes up oxblood, but when you put it on the lips, it's another very true 1950s red. So it's got to settle in. And for the final red lip suggestion, I have Bramble by Bite Beauty also. This is one of their high pigment pencils. And this one's a little bit more burgundy than the rest. But unfortunately, I don't think my camera picks it up well, but this is a very berry red. True red. Like a slightly darker version of the True Red, but a little bit more pink. A little bit of oxblood, and a little bit of burgundy berry kind of. It's like similar to this, but just a little bit darker. But they actually all wear on the lips very differently from one another. And of course, the color will actually change depending on the liner that you use. So, that being said, there's your red lipstick for your rockabilly look. And if you want to go a little bit bolder, which I'm giving you all the suggestions. So hopefully you will find something you like and we can gush about makeup later. If you want to go a little bit bolder, this is MAC's Rebel. It looks very dark. It looks very dark on the bullet, but on the skin, it's actually another very purpley berry. Again, this is also pretty blue based, but it does work well, I think, on like warmer skin tones. So it could go both ways, but to me there's a lot of blue in it. But it's a very purpley berry color, which I do love wearing for fall. And I know some people think that red lips should be only worn at night, but I personally like wearing them during the day. You just have to know how to do it. You do have to go with a more neutral and simpler looking eye, especially if you're working in a conservative environment or if you're just starting out with makeup. But once you get a little more familiar with how makeup works and things like that, then you can, do whatever you want and it will look amazing. My final suggestion, though, for all these lipsticks that I have shown you, okay, I have seen way too many people, I'm not gonna lie, I've seen people get self-conscious about wearing such very, very bold and very bright lipsticks. Very valid concern, but just remember, you're the one who wears the lipstick, the lipstick is not wearing you. So, but just make sure if you buy this stuff, I would encourage you to get a corresponding lip liner. Currently, I only have a purpley berry lip liner to go with the Rebel and all of my darker shades. And I have a red lip liner to obviously go with the berry, the Ruby Woo, and the Just Bitten. So, the last thing I guess we ought to talk about is lashes, because the Rockabillys and the vintage makeups had a lot of flared lashes. Now, it really depends on how your lashes are. Some people's lashes are very naturally curly. Mine are very straight and they grow downward rather than growing upward. So it takes a lot for my lash to hold a curl. But the one that I've found that works pretty well so far is the Dior Show Iconic, the Dior Show Iconic It Curl, or Dior Show Iconic Over Curl, excuse me. It's a very dry formula, which for me works very well because if I put a wet formula mascara onto my lashes, they'll start to droop. Because this is a drier formula, they won't droop as quickly. But it still takes a lot of curling anyway. So that's my recommendations. If you need a cheaper alternative of the mascara, I've heard the Physicians Formula at the drugstores are really good. I think it's like the Physicians Formula Organic Mascara. It's in like a green tube shaped like a sweetly leaf. So, but that's just me. I don't know. I hope that worked. These are all of my suggestions, but for your everyday neutrals, I would go with the chocolate bar. And if you're feeling various pops of color, you might want to see if there's anything similar to the Too Faced Pretty Rebels palette. Or you could go to MAC and kind of just create your own neutral with different pops of color palette like I've done here, which obviously is used very well. And I have so many other palettes, I'm not going to lie to you. But like I said, Too Faced, definitely for your everyday. I prefer the first version. You can check out the second version, but I prefer the first version. And yeah, I think that's it. So, Too Faced chocolate bar, different shades of blues and greens, and a palette with color in it, just so you have, you know, other colors to work with. Hope that helps, and this was a really long video. Sorry. Oh, bye.